Hello, and in this training video, we will cover the ledger posting reports. This report is housed in the Reports module, and on the left, selecting Accounting. Revolution EHR is an invoice-based system, and this will affect your ledger posting report in anything that you post, receive a payment for, create a refund for, or remove an item for will change your ledger posting report on the date you make that change. The ledger posting report cannot be backdated for any of these changes. It also does not change historically. If a sale is posted today but is backdated, it will produce a positive sale within the ledger posting today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ledger posting report. The ledger posting report, like a few of our other reports, has a search information in the top and a results listing in the bottom. Within this report, you can only run it for one location at a time. You will need to select your location from the drop-down. Once you have that location selected, you can select the ledger you'd like to view. The largest of the ledgers is your accounts receivable, as this includes changes made to the accounts receivable by using sales, deposits, refunds, write-offs, and payments. For this example, I want to go ahead and look at our write-offs within this period. So I'm going to select sales write-offs as the ledger we're going to view today. You have a payer type dropdown that defaults to all payers. If you're looking for specific data related to a specific payer, you can easily select that payer from the dropdown. You cannot select a few different ones. You can only select either all payers or one specific payer. You will see your posting date range. You can free type in the date or use the calendar lookup to select your date range. I'm going to go ahead and select a larger date range to ensure we have data to look at. If you're looking for specific actions taken by a specific user, you can select the user dropdown and choose from the usernames in your system. You can search by payer number if you select insurance payer. This is not used often. I personally have never needed this field, but you're more than welcome to. If you're looking for a specific invoice number and actions taken place on that invoice number, you can type in the invoice number. Once you have your search criteria selected for what you're looking for, you're going to select your search button. Once you have search results listed below, on the far right you will see your gear icon. You can single click this to export the data as necessary. One of the reasons I really enjoy the ledger posting report is you can see the date something happened and the service date in one report. There are not many accounting reports within Revolution EHR that combine both the posting date with this service date. I'm going to go ahead and expand this to a few more items per page so we have a little bit more data. This write-off report is extremely helpful because you can tell which employee has written off what amounts with whatever reasons in this date range. In this first example, I can tell that Spectera was written off for a few different reasons. I know this is an insurance payer, so it's quite common to see chargeback, vision, and chargeback all within this same report. I can also see these write-offs were taken on January 7th, but the date of service is from 2018. That's a pretty good indicator that that EOB wasn't posted on time. So there's a lot of information you can get from this report. If I look further down, I can tell that this user, M. Floyd, has removed a write-off within this period. That doesn't concern me too much as the very next option looks like she added in the same write-off. If I go down a little bit further, again, we have that some write-offs were removed and added back. That is very normal. If I scroll back to the top of this report, there's another feature that is overlooked within this report. You can select different column headers to view the data in a different manner. Here I can select the details to view specific reasons grouped together. All my chargebacks are now grouped together, and I can see if they were added or removed. Now they're alphabetized via the write-off reason. Let's go ahead and head back in here and take a look at another report. I want to take a look at the receipts report. If you're missing a payment that you know was posted in Revolution, Receipts is a really helpful way in the ledger posting to search for data. I'm going to go ahead and click my search button. Again, we have the user names of who did the action, the invoice number, and a service date. Before, I showed you guys that write-off for Spectera was taken a good 2 years after it was actually put in the system. I can now see that, sure enough, Mara Floyd posted a Spectera payment for those dates of service for that patient. With whatever ledger you have selected, you can export it as needed for additional information. I'm going to go ahead and export this so that way you can see the true capabilities of this report. I have exported that receipts ledger into Excel. If I'm looking for specific information, with this report exported, Excel has a filter option. I can easily add a filter to this Excel spreadsheet, and I'll see additional drop-downs. If I wanted to see how many payments were voided within this time frame, I can select the filter and select my voids. Now I know that M. Floyd has been voiding patient payments for these amounts. Again, if I wanted to see what other actions were taking place, I can select all to view those. You can do this with any of the filters in Excel. I think this is extremely helpful when looking for specific data in order to tell what has happened within your practice. Let's hop back into that report. This report can only be run for one location at a time. If you need data for multiple locations in one report, you will need to export this into Excel and combine your Excel reports into one report. Most of the time, you are not able to run all ledgers. You will need to select a specific ledger. When I click the X on this receipts ledger, you will notice I get an error message notating in order to use all ledgers, I will need either an invoice number, a specific ledger, or a user. If you are looking to see what actions a specific employee has taken in the system, that's usually when you want to run this for all ledgers. I'm going to go ahead and select a user, and now you'll notice I can actually run this report. I am going to change this to a smaller date range now, just so we get a little bit less information. On the far left, you will now see which ledgers have taken place. In this case, my accounts receivable has increased and my sales has also increased. This report will give you ins and outs, basically a debit to a credit, of what's happened within this date range. This report is extremely in-depth. Here you can tell that I have a number of pages. I have 412 items. You do not need to do this often. This is if you're looking for specific actions taken by a specific employee. I do not suggest running all ledgers unless you are looking for those specific employee actions. This concludes our video on the ledger posting report. Please remember to use our knowledge base and contact support for additional assistance.